What's up, guys? So in my last video I said that my last video would be the last one. Actually changed my mind. I had an urge to redo my stealth character. Before, like, he was full of armor and like a huge face mask, and I just wasn't happy with the way he was looking, and I changed him to like a more like stripped down version. This is what like task force police officers like actually sort of look like. There's ones with like more armor, but there's like the more like a stripped down version where it's just like jeans and t-shirt and like a vest. I think this is what I was originally going for, like in the back of my head. I wanted some like a character that was like maybe skinnier and more agile, not like with big clunky like armor. But anyways, yeah, I modeled up some weapons too. An assault rifle, and a handgun, and a holster. And I also added, obviously, his baseball cap, some facial hair, and another sort of like belt that holds the holster. And I also created a bunch of animations. This is what I'm going to implement today. So far, what I have is just the basic idle walk run. Gotta wait for it to load up. Press play. Okay, so yeah, basically basic idle walk, and if I press the right mouse button, he runs. I'd redid the animations. I think like the shoulders and like the knees were sort of like in weird positions. It was kind of awkward. I did it in kind of a hurry. I spent a little bit more time to make it look more correct, I guess. But I also created a whole bunch of other animations. This is what I want to implement today. Let's go first. I have to go through all of these and make sure that loop time is applied, because these are all like base animations. So on top of the regular idle walk run, I've also got the idle walk run when he's pointing and aiming his handgun, idle walk run when he's aiming and pointing his assault rifle, and then I also have a couple crouch animations for with the handgun, assault rifle, and no gun. So, but those don't have any running animations. It's just pure idle or walking. So after that's all done, I have to go ahead and go back to the animator, and I need to create some more blend trees. So this one is obviously the base one with just the regular no weapon equipped idle walk run. This one will be handgun. This one will be rifle, and I need to put these like this. I also need to create crouch. This will be just regular crouch with no weapon equipped. This one will be crouch rifle. I guess it has to be one word. Crouch rifle. And one more called crouch handgun. Okay, so I have to go into each one of these and whoops. So the first one's handgun, so I've got to go to the list of animations that I have here. And handgun idle. Okay, so if you look here, press play, he's idling, walking, and then running. And to keep it simple, I didn't do any animations where the guns are down. All the animations are all with the gun aimed at the target, except for the crouching. Crouching is no aiming; it's just the gun's down. So the rifle. Okay, so we're saving the rifle. Idle. Walk. Run. Okay. The crouch. I only need 2, but I'll make the last one walk. So he's idling, he's walking. That's good. looks all good. Now I gotta connect all these. Oops. So actually, yeah, I'm going to go clockwise. So unequipped to rifle and then handgun. So I'm just going to use. Let me think for a second. I did this incorrectly. I have to delete all these. Because I'm going in one direction, I just need to create a transition this way. So for these ones, I'll create a float. Which gun? So if which gun is 0, then it's just going to be, nothing's going to be equipped. If it happens to be 1, it'll be rifle. If it's 2, then it's handgun. And if it's 0, again, it goes back. So oh, sorry. I'll delete that. Keep on forgetting. I have to do an integer. Which gun? Because if I use a float doesn't have an equals option. It just has a greater than or something else. So if it equals 1, then it jumps to rifle. Which gun equals 2, then it goes to handgun. And finally, if which gun equals 0, then it jumps back to the default. And I have to create a bool called is crouching. So whenever I have to create more transitions, so if crouching is true, then it goes to the crouching. But if is crouching is false, then it bounces back to not crouching. Crouching false. Another thing that I have to do is I'm going to take these crouching ones and bring it out like this. I'm going to create connections between them the same way that I've created like this triangle for the non-crouching ones. The reason is even if I am crouching, I should be able to equip and like change weapons when I'm crouching as well. So just say I'm in a crouching state. If which gun equals 1 from here, then it goes here. Which gun equals 2, then it goes here. Or this has to be equals. So yeah, so if it equals 0, it goes back to crouching. This one, why is this called? This has to be just called crouch. Okay, it was just a naming error. Yeah, so that's basically it. So yeah, so if I happen to be crouching, and then I want to change guns, just say I have no gun, and then I go to rifle, and then at this point just say I decide I don't want to crouch anymore, then I'll just go back here. So that looks pretty good. Now I need to code everything. So what I'm going to do is I want to copy and paste everything again. So anything up here that says player movement 2 or camera controller 2, that's from my other female warrior project. So I'm just going to copy and paste elements from there and paste it here. So the first thing that I would like to do is I have the exact same code here, I believe, by a witch gun. Grab that. And I should probably create game objects. Public game object. So the first one's going to be called handgun wrist right. Second one's going to be handgun waist. This one's going to be these ones will be rifle wrist right. So I have a handgun and a rifle both attached to the back as well as the wrist. Oh sorry, I have the rifle on the back and I have the handgun at the waist. But both rifle and handgun are both also attached to the wrist. So all I'm doing is toggling the visibility, or like I'm setting or the active or not active. So I just need to find I opened up a different player movement script. Instead of calling this one which gun, I'm going to call it equip number, and I'm going to go down here. So if input get mouse button down 2, which is the middle mouse button is pressed, then I'm going to paste that into the update function. And within that, I might as well just copy and paste all of this. So get rid of that. So I'm just changing this to, I've named it which gun, the integer. So if the middle mouse button is pressed, if the equip number is 0, then it's going to set it to 1. And the which gun in the animator is going to be set to 1, which means I'm doing the rifle animations. And for this part, this is where I set these active or inactive. Handgun, wrist right. Handgun, waist. So in this case, both of these are false. Actually, no, the one in the waist is true, because the rifle is equipped. So the handgun's still on the waist. Rifle, wrist, right. Rifle. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste all these. And all I got to do is just set the true or false values. So in this case, the rifle is equipped, so the rifle on the wrist is active, but the handgun on the waist is active. This one here, the handgun and the wrist is true. Handgun on the waist is false. Wrist or rifle on the wrist is false. Right, rifle on the back is true. And then for this one, handgun on the wrist is false. Handgun on the waist is true. Rifle on the wrist is false. And rifle on the back is true. So I'm just going to compile that. Compiled, we go back into the stealth character, and here I have to remember in this script I created game objects here, the guns, so I have to drag and drop them. So I have the two guns in the hand. By default they're off. By default the gun on the back is on, and the handgun in the waist, it's attached to the spine base, and that's also active as well. So I gotta go in here. So for handgun wrist, just gotta drag and drop all these. So if I let it play, everything's all good as soon as I hit the middle mouse button. Why is this not working? Something's not right. Okay, just gonna check. Oh, I think I know what it is. The this animator set integer. It's case sensitive. Change all these W's to capitals. Hopefully that does it. So if I press middle mouse button, there we go. You can burn as well. If I change to handgun, beautiful. Whoops. Okay. One thing that I would also like to add is when he's aiming with either the rifle or the handgun, I want to add a script a little line of code. I'm sorry, this one should go here. So for both these, I'm going to leave it alone. So what this does is when he's aiming with the rifle or the handgun, he's constantly facing forward, kind of like third-person shooter. Rotating. What do I call it here? Yeah, let's call it this. Rotates player forward while aiming. Another thing that I should do is I also need to move the camera when he's aiming. So what I've done here is I created a cam, reference to the cam, the actual camera, and I want to create two locations. One is the regular location that you already saw, and then the one is the new location where the camera's closer. So when he's aiming, which is equip 1 and equip 2, the cam transform position moves to the cam aim location. So it's the same for this rifle and the handgun, but for when there's no gun equipped, the cam moves to just the regular cam location. So here it's cam location, here it's cam aim location. So I've got one line of code for a move towards the position, and then also one for the rotation. So if I compile that, I have to quickly as compiler also explain you also set the speed in which it moves. So 2 for move towards. Actually, this could be a little bit higher. No, that's pretty good actually. So under here I want to I'm not sure if I should do it under the camera or okay, let's do it under the character. Create empty cam location and create another one. Create empty So for the cam, I'm just going to copy position, paste position. So the position right now, the position of both of these, as you can see, it's the exact same as the main camera, but it's the cam aim location that needs to be closer to the body. And conventionally, when the character is aiming, he or she is on the left side of the screen, so I need to move the camera to the right slightly. So I'm not sure if this is really accurate, but I'll just eyeball it and go from there. So here I need to specify the camera. Dump the camera here. Cam location. Cam aim location. Okay, so like before, I can walk around, but as soon as I hit the middle mouse button, it's not working for some reason. Okay, so I figured out the problem. So originally, I had these. I was setting the camera positions to the cam location and cam aim location over here. But the problem is when I press the middle mouse button, which is get mouse button down too. Even though it's in the update function, you only press it once. You're not constantly like rapidly pressing the middle mouse button. So it only does this once. So instead, I created a variable, a boolean is aiming is equal to false. So whenever equip number is either 1 or 2, that's when a gun is equipped, and that is when aiming is true. But when no gun is equipped, then aiming is false. So down here, when aiming is true, that's constantly rotating in the same direction as the camera rig, and it's also the camera is also moving towards the camera aim location. But if aiming is false, then it goes back to its cam location, which is the original camera location. So this is so in the update function, this is constantly firing as to where when it was up here. I think it was because it wasn't constantly firing; it was just firing once at the very beginning. Another mistake that I made, this is really obvious, I don't know why I made this mistake, but I had the cam location and the cam aim location parented to the stealth character, but it should have been parented to the camera, because when I move the mouse, the camera spins around, and these two locations need to be in relation to this camera setup. So if I go ahead and, also this cam aim location, which is selected right now, also gave it a slight angle so you can actually see the guns. Before you couldn't really see the guns. I think that's an important like artistic slash like visual design decision that that should be made in if you want to make like visually good looking games. So if I press now, okay, so he moves around normally as usual. As soon as I hit the see I'm facing this way. As soon as I hit the middle mouse button, he's constantly looking forward, even though I'm moving my mouse. You can tell by like the shadow on the ground that he's rotating, but the sun doesn't change location, so his shadow stays in one spot. If I press the middle mouse button again, changes color. And then if I press it once more, then it goes back, and the camera goes back to its original location. Okay. Okay, so I have to deal with the crouching now. So I've created a boolean called isCrouching, and I set it to false. And I need to go into the update function. So if I want to use the C button, so if input dot get key down C, if that's pressed, and within that I'm going to create more conditions. If is crouching equals true, else if is crouching equals false. That means, so if I press the button and is crouching equals true, then I have to set is crouching equals false. And over here is crouching equals true. And in the animator, set bool so when I go back, that's basically this one right here. So it's by default it's false. So if the button's pressed and it's true, then it sets it to false, and then it also sets the boolean in the animator to false. And then down here it's the opposite. If the button is pressed and is crouching is false, then is crouching becomes true, and the is crouching in the animator also becomes true. So I have to change this as well. So I'm going to compile that. Okay, so when no weapon is equipped and I press C, then he crouches. So if I press it again, he uncrouches. If I have the rifle, then I press crouch, he crouches down. The only thing I don't like about this is the camera stays in that position and he rotates with the camera. I think it's better if the camera is like this when he's crouching. I think the camera should be more like it should be free to rotate around the character. I think that is probably a better way to use a crouching character in a game. Another thing that I need to check is when he's crouching, and then I press the middle mouse button to equip the weapon, then works fine, like he's equipping the rifle now. If I press it again, he equips the handgun, which is all good. It's just the camera position that I don't like, and I'm going to fix. Okay, so I think I have a solution for the crouching. So over here where is aiming is true, I'm only going to make this happen if crouching is false. So if is crouching equals false, so if he's aiming, he's got either one of the two guns equipped, and he's not crouching, then the camera can move to the cam aim location, and he can rotate with the camera rig like a third-person shooter. Else if is crouching equals true, then he's the camera is going to constantly move to the original camera location. And when aiming is false, the camera moves to the original camera location regardless of whether he's crouching or not. So I'm going to compile that and see what this does. Okay, so he's walking around. I press C to crouch. Looks fine. Equip gun, the rifle. But if I crouch now, then this is perfect. This is exactly what I want. I want the camera to move back, and I want the camera to freely rotate around. But as soon as I uncrouch, then the camera goes back, and he's constantly rotating with the camera rotation. If I press the middle mouse button, he's aiming with the handgun. Press crouch. Perfect. So now, let's just say I have the handgun. If I press the middle mouse button again, he's crouching still, but with no gun. If I press the middle mouse button again, he's crouching with the rifle. And let's just say I have nothing equipped. I press C to uncrouch. Okay, that's perfect. Let's try this once more. The rifle, crouching with the rifle. I'll press middle mouse button again to change weapons. So he's holding the handgun. And as soon as I press C to uncrouch, he's still holding the handgun, which is perfect. And he's rotating with the camera. Okay, I think that's more than enough for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys also like my new character design. Yeah, I had an urge to fix it up because I did spend quite a bit of time working on it. It would have been such a waste to just throw it away. So yeah, thanks for watching, and please be on the lookout for more videos. Okay, thanks.